Hello, everyone. This is Brian Ka with another episode on Brian Ka Video. So it's been about 2 months, perhaps almost 3 months, since I uploaded a video on this channel. So I just wanted to give you an update on what's going on in my life currently. And of course, it has to do with law school because this channel is dedicated to helping people who are trying to pass the baby bar exam or the bar exam. And if you're struggling as a first year law student, this channel is also for you. So I thought that this would be a good time to kind of summarize what's happening in my second year of law school. And also, if I can look at this video in the future, maybe I can look back at myself and see how much I've progressed over the past 2 years. And of course, those of you who have been watching this video know that I took the baby bar exam 10 years ago. I failed that exam, and due to life circumstances, I had to pause my law career for about 10 years. And I came back last year as a second L after passing the baby bar exam, and now I am just doing a lot of studying and memorizing because I'm taking property law, and another class that I'm taking right now is legal writing, but advanced writing. So we're doing complaints, we're doing legal memos. We're also learning how to write client letters. And honestly, if you're doing these things for the first time, they're not that easy because if it's your first time doing case research on fast case, then it's going to take a while for you to learn how to use that program. And also, all these citations can be overwhelming when you're doing it for the first time. So I'm learning all that, but I thought that I should make a video to kind of talk about what you should do ideally after passing the baby bar exam. Well, the thing is, I guess after passing the baby bar exam, you can kind of just take it easy because you have probably figured out how to do well in your classrooms because you're probably familiar now with contracts, torts, and criminal law. So the subsequent classes that you'll be taking will always use those concepts. But then it's just going to keep adding on and adding on. But in my life, in my law school career, I'm not doing that. What I'm doing right now is I'm on the state bar website every day. And for each question that has been administered in the past, I am doing each question around 7 to 10 times. Community property, which I took in the past trimester with trial advocacy, was, for me at least, was pretty easy. And I think it's because the amount of memorization that I had to do wasn't too overwhelming. It was doable. But right now, I'm taking property, and I have some experience with property law because around 15 years ago, I took the California real estate exam and I passed that test. And at the time, I kind of felt like it was too easy. And I decided not to go to that path because I wanted to do something more challenging. And I knew that I had to come back to law at some point in my career, which is what I'm doing now. Albeit it's later than a lot of people because I have friends now who's been practicing law for about 20, 25 years. Not 25 years, I guess 20 years. A lot of them have been doing it for about 10 years now. People that I've met in my previous law school 10 years ago, most of them are attorneys now. I can't say that they're all successful attorneys. Some of them are not even practicing law, but I have those people around me now. So I am a sort of a late boomer coming into this game and trying to catch up. But going back to the how you should spend your second, third, and fourth year, because I'm assuming that you're probably from an online law school that requires you to take the baby bar exam and pass that test in order for you to become 2L, 3L, and 4L, and eventually being eligible to take the state bar exam. So I thought that, sharing my own experience would be beneficial to you. So going back, instead of, just taking it easy, because I can probably get C's and pass property law. I can probably do a mediocre job in my advanced writing, legal writing class, but I'm not doing that because, first of all, for legal writing, I know that a lot of traditional law schools, they don't teach you how to draft complaints, and that's what my professor has even said. And she went to UCLA Law, and she spoke about how after graduating she had to struggle to learn how to write drafts of complaints, and she vouched that one day she's gonna teach law at a law school and teach her students how to draft complaints. And here I am as one of her students, and she's probably the best law school teacher that I've ever had. And I'm learning so much, and she's literally teaching you how to open your own law firm, because you're gonna have to do all these things like client letters, drafting memos if you're working for a firm to your senior partner, and law schools typically don't teach you that. So I'm spending like all day for weeks learning how to draft these papers, and I'm giving it my best. So in my last memo, I got a 98 out of 100. I'm doing pretty good. You know, community property. I'm sure I was probably top three in class. Probably, you know, for some reason I always get like, cause she shares the highest grade and the lowest grade, but I never get the highest grade. Like this memo, the highest grade was 100 out of 100, but I got 98 out of 100, so I missed it by two. So I knew that I was second, and this happened for another finals and midterm, and it seems like it's kind of difficult for me to get number one, but at least I'm second in class, or probably third. But I'm sure, in community property, I was probably maybe first, but probably second. You know, um, this memo again, I got a 98 out of 100. My classmates, I don't know who it was, got 100 out of 100. So again, I was number two, but doesn't matter. I'm probably top three in each class. So I'm learning how to do that, and which is taking a lot of time. Again, if you do a lackadaisical job, I don't think that it's gonna take you that long, because you can just do a cursory job and just turn it in just to get it over with. But I'm not doing that. I'm taking this opportunity to learn how to do this in real life. So I'm treating it as a real life draft complaint, real life memo, real life demand letters. So I'm spending a lot of time on this. It's a privilege to have the opportunity to learn how to do these things, because once again, traditional law schools, they don't go through these steps. So I'm doing that. And as for property, I gotta tell you, even though, as I mentioned before, I passed the California real estate exam like 15 years ago. I think I was like a senior in college when I took it, and I passed it the first time, and I thought it was pretty easy. But trying to be an attorney, perhaps I'll go into real estate law because I'm realizing that it's something I like. There's so much to memorize, and community property, if I can compare it to that class, it's so much more. And there are some concepts that are a little bit difficult, more difficult than I had thought in the past. So I'm spending a lot of time right now, just memorizing black letter law. And I mean, just today, I went through rule against perpetuities, um, rule against restraints. For easements, you have to know, like, four different types of easements. You have to know how easements are created. There's like five ways to create it, and how easements get terminated, which is like another like five ways. And remember, each you know law, there are elements. So trying to memorize this, or rather internalizing it, is a lot. But my goal is to take, because I'm old now, you know my goal is to take the bar exam as soon as I finish school. And I might change later, but hopefully I can work as a public defender uh, in LA if that's possible, Orange County, if there's opportunities in San Francisco. I don't mind going up there and just get trial experience, because, I mean, to be honest, I never thought that I, you know, think about becoming a trial litigation attorney. I never thought of that. But, getting a lot of these experiences and practices in my current law school, I feel like I can do it. I didn't feel confident before that I could do it. Um, I felt like I wasn't a good speaker. Um, you watch some of these people on YouTube, they're pretty good. And I never thought that I'd get there. But I think that's the way um, that I'm going to pursue. Litigate, talk in front of jurors and the judge, of course. And I don't know what's giving me this confidence that I can do it, but maybe professors have been nice to me. They are very positive when it comes to grading my opening statements or my closing arguments, and I can even feel myself getting better at articulating my thoughts because I've always been sort of a passive person. And I always like to keep everything to myself. Even now, no matter how hard things get, I'm holding it in. And maybe that's not a good thing, but that was just how I was and still am, you know. And I don't like to go in front of public. I don't like to, speak in front of people. And a lot of it was not having the confidence to do it. But now I feel like I can do it. So if you're somebody who has passed the baby bar exam and you're going into your second, third, and fourth year, you have two options. The first option is to just take it easy and, just let the time pass. And by the time your fourth year comes around, enroll in some expensive bar prep. You know, some of them I know it costs like $8,000, and just cram it for the next 6 months to a year, and then pass the bar exam. But me, knowing myself very well now, I mean, I'm old enough to know what I am, who I am, how I learn, and I can't cram. I am a very slow learner, but if I internalize something, if I if I understand some concept, I never forget it because I have totally internalized that concept into my brain. So whether or not you're gonna take the first route, just take it easy, wait for 3 years to pass and cram it at the end of your fourth year and pass the bar. That's an option. I'm not saying, that's a bad or good thing. That's just, an option that you can take. Or if you are a slow learner like me, you start studying for the bar now, you know. Once again, for community property, I did about I did each question, every single community property question that has been administered in the past. I went through them like 7 or 8 times for each question, and I believe there are like at least like 8 or 9, right? For property, I have just gone through, I think it's like 8 or 9 again. Um, I went through everything once, and I'm going through them again the second time right now. Um, and today I just did another, you know, repeat of the second question out of like the 9, and I'm going through each law that I need to know, each element that I need to know in order to pass the bar exam. So I hope, if you are somebody who worked hard and studied a lot and was able to, pass the baby bar, and if you're in your second year of your legal career, I hope that you can push yourself even more now so that you can internalize everything. And when the time to take the bar exam rolls around, that you don't have to cram it. Rather, you know everything and you're going to be so confident because while everybody else was, taking it easy and just trying to get by each class, you didn't do that. Rather, you took your time, you studied for the bar exam, studying from your second year. And if you think about that, that's almost 3 years of preparing for the bar exam, and you haven't wasted any time. So that, you know, like me, you can apply right after you take the bar exam, and you're so sure about passing because you've done it so many times, and I think that's a good way to go. So I hope this was a helpful video for you, and I'm not really sure if I can make another video um, right after this. It may take some time because I really have to do a lot of studying for property law. And, I imagine myself advising somebody on real estate. I mean, you have to know your, words. You have to know all these legal jargons, and you have to be able to explain it to your client. And to get to that level, to have that kind of proficiency, you have to really practice. Do it again, like you're eating every day. I don't eat 3 times a day, but it's like that. You do it so many times that it becomes second nature to you. So I hope that this video was helpful. Oh, and before I go, make sure you take care of your health. I run every day, and I hated running because I was a basketball player all my life. So if you can, you know, take care of your body because that's an advantage that you're going to have over your competition. Other people may be smarter than me. They went to Harvard Law School, they went to Stanford, UCLA, USC. I'm a you know, underdog, but my mind, my spirit, my mental will always be, in top shape, and my physical too will always be top shape, so that when other people are not eating right, when they're not taking care of themselves, I am. And what that leads me to is, I can think more clearly, I can spend more time, really digging into some issues. Whereas, they're spending 1 hour on this, I'm going to spend 6 hours. And, I've realized that law is not really, about how smarter one is, compared to another. It's about how much you prepare, how much you spend on something, versus somebody else spending as many hours as you are trying to win a case, or, you know, write letters or write draft complaints. It's about investing all those hours, investing more time than your competition, and I think that's what will get you over the edge. And once you get to like a professional level, that slight difference of effort, that slight difference of a little bit more investment of your time into something will, I believe, make a huge difference because everybody's so good. So when everybody is so good, little, advantages will kind of pull you over the top. So I hope this was a helpful video, and I'll try to see you guys in a next video soon.